What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm catching up on the weekend's news before in the afternoon. I'll cover all of today's news. If you haven't yet, please do consider clicking that subscribe button down below, the red little subscribe button here on YouTube or whatever platform you're on. It's probably the only way you'll find my videos, and it's extremely important. So I greatly appreciate it. Now, I think it was Friday afternoon, a story broken by Carolyn B on Twitter was some Coca-Cola employee training. Employee training that is widely available through a LinkedIn training program. So I think it's important to distinguish that this wasn't particularly internal training that Coca-Cola developed, but they went out and paid somebody for it and forced employees to go through it. Some of the slides, of course, legendarily great. 381 people in the training currently at this time. Understanding what it means to be white. Challenging what it means to be racist. Okay, all right. Well, that seems okay, maybe. Now, this is from Robin DiAngelo, the author of amazing books like White Fragility, I believe. I forget what the book he wrote, but it was garbage. You see here, to be less white is to be less oppressive, less arrogant, certain, defensive, ignorant, humble. Apparently, being white also means you lack the ability to listen or believe, or to break with apathy, or break with solidarity. This is racist. This is literally racism. What this training is telling you is that when you are born, if you are white, you are inherently oppressive. You are inherently arrogant. You are inherently defensive, ignorant. You are not humble. You have a problem listening. You have a problem believing. This is whiteness as training from Coca-Cola. And by the way, Coca-Cola has a statement on this. The U.S. and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel like they are inherently superior because they are white. No evidence. I mean, it's not like we're going to evidence that. We're not going to source that with anything that might actually prove this. Research shows, oh, well, you said research, so that's good, that by age 3 or 4, children understand that it is better to be white. I didn't learn that in school. I never felt that way. Now, I did live in the suburbs, so admittedly, my school wasn't that mixed, but there was never an air of superiority to the color of our skin. Of course, the big bombshell here, try to be less white. Now, Coca-Cola does issue a statement that doesn't make it any better. The video circulating on social media is from a publicly available LinkedIn learning series and is not a focus of our company's curriculum. Our Better Together global learning curriculum is part of a learning plan to help build an inclusive workplace. It is comprised of a number of short vignettes, each a few minutes long. The training video includes access to LinkedIn Learning on a variety of topics, including on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We will continue to refine this curriculum. What? It doesn't. So it says the video circulating is from a public available LinkedIn series and is not a focus of our company's curriculum. Okay, but that doesn't even, what does that even mean? I mean, this doesn't make it better. Here on Newsweek, Coca-Cola facing mounting backlash from conservatives. Why does it have to be a conservative thing? Doesn't everybody have a problem with the statement, it's try to be less white? If it had said black, would your feelings change? Coca-Cola has responded to claims of anti-white rhetoric after the initial whistleblower leaked screenshots of diversity training materials that encourage its staff to be less white. On Friday, Carolyn Borisenko, an activist who supports banning critical race theory, I also do, shared images from an internal whistleblower of the company's online racism training. The slides include tips to learners on how to be less white, less arrogant, less certain. A Coca-Cola spokesperson confirmed that the course is part of a learning plan to help build an inclusive workplace, but also noted that the video circulating on social media is from a publicly available LinkedIn series and is not as a focus of our company's curriculum. I mean, what? What? On what planet is this, first of all, a good thing? Why would somebody who works at Coca-Cola be involved in this? You know, and it's American best-selling author Robert DiAngelo, of course. Proponents of critical race theories call for white people to acknowledge the advantage for being white, of being white for a more equitable society. No, there is no advantage that comes with being white. Sorry. That's baloney, pseudoscience, garbage. Drive by any trailer park in my state, it's populated by hand-to-mouth, paycheck-to-paycheck white folks that are just waiting for that sweet check that supposedly these people say come from being white. On the other hand, some conservatives deny the impact of widespread institutional racism, and others believe that diversity training is being weaponized against American people. Many took to Twitter to criticize the be less white language used in the LinkedIn diversity training materials used by Coca-Cola. Candace Owens railed against Coca-Cola and urged employees to file lawsuits against the company. If a corporate company sent around a training kit instructing black people to be less black, the world would implode and lawsuits would follow. I genuinely hope these employees sue Coca-Cola for blatant discrimination. Joshua Foxworth, who ran for the House of Representatives to represent Texas in the 14th Congressional District, tweeted, "If your congressman does nothing when Coca-Cola tells its employees to try to be less white, but would rush to any available mic if this was about any other race, then it can be truly said that they represent every American in their district, or just the ones the media allows." Now, I understand this is like, it feels weird to say stuff like this. Like, it's okay to be white. Remember the 4chan meme? Like, I don't want to talk about there's like obviously Shapiro's, famous line where he's like, show me actions of, people being racist and we will agree. But the idea that just because I'm born a way, I'm like predetermined to dislike other colors of skin or that I have some sort of advantages is hokum. It's bull. It's not backed by any real science. And the media continues to push this. Nigel Farage, Reform UK leader and senior editor-at-large for Newsweek's The Debate, also criticized this training materials. Quote, "So to be less white means you'll be less arrogant, less ignorant, I mean." The list goes on. "Try to be less white," he said. "The inference here is clear, isn't it? That white is bad. That white means supremacist. White means you look down your noses at everybody else. White means you're guilty. Try to be less black. Try to be less Asian. Try to be less indigenous. Can we say that? No. Then why can Coca-Cola tell their staff to be less white?" I mean, yeah. This is corporate America. This is, this is all what's approved. This is the approved messaging. It's creepy because it makes you feel like, why am I defending being white? I don't care about that. I don't care about people's skin color. It doesn't matter to me. And the idea that this grift right? Which is what all of this crap is. This training grift, critical race theory, and other garbage is the result of all these morons getting gender study degrees and then getting out in the real world and realizing there were no jobs for them. So they created this idea that, well, you need to train your people because they are born with this original sin, this original propensity to be awful. That is, of course, if their skin color is white. This is not okay. This type of training does, I mean, look, let me ask you this. Even like the furthest left of my viewers who might say, well, actually, data shows that institutionally and this and that. Let me ask you, do you think that this kind of training, that actively telling your employees of a particular skin color that they are inherently bad, do you think that this brings people more together or less together? Do you think that this makes people more interested in looking inside for potential biases that they have, or less interested in that? When you stick your finger in somebody's face, and this is, to me, you know, this is no different than going to looking, you know, talking to some, you know, an Asian person like, oh, you must be good at math, or it's stereotyping, it's racism. It's ridiculous. Are there white people who have bad opinions of other races? Yeah. But guess what? There are also people of other races with similar opinions going the other direction. Why not focus on specific actionable items that people can, you know, have this tangible thing to put in their hand, as opposed to this like this hokum garbage that you're supposed to tell some 40-year-old dude on an assembly line that, hey, man, I know you're just making it, but did you know how easy you have it because you're white? Sit down and watch this PowerPoint. What do you think that dude's going to think? Do you think that it's possible you're turning more people into racists than fixing them? Because it seems like if you're set to, and you're forced to digest, one wonders, I wonder, you know, what those numbers look like when you're forcing people to digest this kind of like denigrating material. How many people are you actually turning into what you know, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. These people didn't have a problem before, and now all of a sudden you're turning them into that because you're denigrating them at every turn. It's disgusting. Coca-Cola, this training is disgusting. Unfortunately, this isn't just limited to them. I'm sure many major corporations do this type of training. It's pretty sad to see. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.